All right, we are back here with game 2 of this series between Twisted Fusion and Crave in the round of 16 of Gold Cycle 2. So, good game played by Twisted Fusion in the first one. Well drafted, well executed, and really just kind of rolled over their opponents for most of that game. Felt like Legion side in that being Crave had a little bit more opportunity in the laning phase, didn't quite capitalize, and then they paid for it later. Uh, Anything else to say about that before we move on to this one?
Well, as far as bans go, first three bans are the exact same as last game.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So Revenant getting taken out once again by Slot Please, and Silhouette follows that, as well as Cthulhuphant, the first takeout for the Hellborn side. And we see the Cthulhuphant ban all the time, pretty much.
Yeah, he's the
I
new
mean,
Kronos.
yeah, I don't think that we've seen too many games where he's made it past the first pick. It's either banned or first picked in pretty much everything. Swiftblade also gonna be the fourth ban there for the Hellborn side, and first pick Rhapsody. So, how you feeling about bans and their first pick of Rhapsody there, Drents?
Well, Legion banned Revenant and Silhouette, and as you said before, there's the exact same bans. So they know something's up. Like they know those comfort heroes, so they just, they ban it. They don't want to face them. Want to be in a good position, so they just ban it. So you see the first pick Rhapsody as Legion. That's really good. It's one of the best supports in the game, and you can lane her anywhere. So that's why she's so valued. Her ulti, her stun, it's just a really good hero. I like
No
it.
doubt. And really doesn't pigeonhole you either. I mean, you can do anything after you pick a Rhapsody. There's no situation where you're like, oh, we picked Moon Queen, so now we have to do some stuff to protect the Moon Queen. We got to give Moon Queen the short lane. That's going to limit our options a little bit. First pick Rhapsody gives nothing away. You could run a jungler. You could run
Yep.
aggressive dual lane. You could dual lane mid. You could do tri lane. You can do whatever the hell you want with Rhapsody because that hero is. I want to say it's the best hero in the game.
Magnus being a close
Well,
second.
no, Swiftblade's just the
Yeah,
best hero.
it's a good
Can't
point.
just. It's just so annoying to face, and he can lane anywhere as well. He can
Yeah.
even jungle. So
I don't think
I
we've ever
put
seen a mid
Swiftblade there,
Swiftblade.
then Rhapsody.
Have you seen a mid Swiftblade before?
Yeah,
No, but he can actually do that if it's
Yeah.
a 1v1. So
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He can suicide, so I'm sure he can mid just fine. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good point. Swiftblade, an extremely impactful hero if he gets going. Doesn't need too much to get going, and has the similar, versatility of something like Rhapsody. But Legion side, going through actually pretty quickly here. Magnus and Ophelia are going to be their second, 2, and third picks. Andromeda
Like
and
it.
Bubbles. First pick Andro.
Well, yeah, that's a little bit weird, in a sense, because they know that Angel doesn't have a range. So he's either gonna be roaming, or he's gonna be short lane. So they kind of gave it away from what they want to do. Probably not gonna try lane because they picked bubbles. I mean, they could, but I don't see it happening because they're facing Ophelia. So Legion knows what's up with the Andro. It's not a great first pick, so kind of gave it away.
Yeah. So thoughts so far here in the draft here, and thoughts?
third pick on Parasite.
Yeah.
I mean, Parasite's a really strong hero these days. I like the Legion's draft so far quite a bit more. As you guys have said, Andro gives a lot away, especially now that they have a jungler to go along with that. And Ophelia, Magnus, and Rhapsody are just three extremely strong heroes. And, Parasite and Bubbles are both pretty strong, but I think that as far as first picks go, they should not have picked Andro.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. I feel like, at the very least, it's not first pick material because nobody's going to ban it and almost nobody's going to pick it. So if you want that hero, that's fine, but why would you take it first? There's so many other
Yeah.
options on the board.
Yep.
You got to notice that too. They do have the Parasite versus Ophelia situation, so obviously that's going to help Ophelia out quite a bit, or Parasite, excuse me, out a lot because of course you can take over those minions and start to screw with Ophelia's jungle quite a bit. But you look at the Legion side in general, Rhapsody and Ophelia pushing potential out the ass, just ridiculous amounts of tower destruction, and that goes right back to game 1, where they drafted a lineup that did the same thing essentially with Balfagor and Rhapsody. Get somebody in the jungle that's going to get like a whole bunch of minions, drop a dance floor, start killing towers. And I feel like the Hellborn side are perhaps even less prepared for that now than they were in the last game.
And I'm going to do a
More
quick shout out to
importantly-
Quincy because I'm looking at the HoN Tour website now, and remember that hero combination
Yep.
article that you did. 85.7% win rate when you play Ophelia and Rhapsody together. And that's out of 21 games. That's insane.
Yeah.
85.7% win rate? Yeah. No doubt about it.
And not just that too, but heroes that when they're played apart they do well. When they're played together, they do even better. They're just a combination that doesn't just add, they multiply. So I think they got to be worried on the Hellborn side. I mean, they've got the team fight, they've got the push, they've got the initiation. They don't have hard carry yet. They don't have too much late game presence, but they've got 2 more picks to make up for that. And Hellborn's draft is okay, but I'm not sure
They
if
really
okay
need
is
some
gonna cut it.
anti-push.
Yeah.
They need anti-push presence at all costs. Or once
mean-
again, this Legion team is just going to roll on over them.
Right, Bubbles is going to provide a little bit of that with the Shell Surf, but that's a dangerous spell to be using just to anti-push, and it's not going to
Yeah.
do too much anyway, so
Yeah, 280 damage, not too much at all.
I'm feeling nervous already for the guys on Crave, but bans are here as well. Dr. Repulsor and Master of Arms getting taken up by the Legion side, Kraken and Shadowblade by the Hellborn side. One thing I did want to bring up with you, Drents, was I mentioned earlier a little bit how quickly the Legion side was going through. How critical do you think it is, especially when the Hellborn had used a fair bit of their extra time, to try to get picks and bans out early and force them into making snap decisions?
Oh boy. Oh, I mean, didn't hear what you just said, but like, yeah.
Answered anyway.
Andrew's not gonna help with counter push, so there's that. So it's just like a pick. But now, the set of bans, you see PR, MOA, just heroes that can, screw up with the minions
Yeah.
and go and do really well late games. So they just ban it out, and they know nothing's gonna stop them yet again. So Legion looking pretty good right now, just from the draft.
No doubt. And Hellborn banning out Kraken, Shadowblade, and Wretched Hag, so I would imagine those are targeted based on last game. They felt like Kraken and Shadowblade did very well against them, and therefore want to get rid of it. Wretched Hag would fit this lineup pretty well as both a mid or a suicide presence. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh
Hey,
wow.
it's your favorite hero, Quincy.
I'm not sure if Rally's my favorite here. I think it might be a Luna. But yeah, I hate Rally.
Right.
I hate Rally. I hate
I
Rally,
think-
and I hate Salomon too, to be fair.
Salomon's farm potential is going to be insane, but I think Rally was kind of not necessary, but a solid pick because they do need some physical presence. But he doesn't provide that anti-push that they need.
Yep.
They're going to have a really strong last pick,
Okay.
guys. I don't know what they can pick.
Well,
Oh wow.
Yep. That's a thing that happened. This is turning into a really interesting game really, really quickly. Those last 3 picks were strange, and then the last 2 were really strange. But the number one concern I have now about the Legion side is Salomon wants stacks in the jungle. Ophelia is not going to let that happen. So
Not at first. I think that she'll back off and start pushing, around the mid game.
yeah, I'm just worried that I think you want to get stacks up as early as possible because Salomon needs to take off quickly. Otherwise, he's going to be useless. That's just the hero gets to 800 gold per minute, and even then, he's not that good. So that seems like a really risky pickup to me. And yeah, they're up 1 game to nothing, so they can take a risk. But I really don't like
Salomon's not my
Salomon.
favorite hero, but I gotta disagree to some extent. I remember whenever you see a Salomon at, say, 700, 800 plus GPM, they usually just dominate. They'll have that refreshment orb or resto stone. They'll just double ulti, too much damage. I remember I was watching a scrimmage match with actually your team, Drents. I don't remember who you were versing. It might have been Snack's team. But Beaver Bang had like
Please.
950 GPM, like 500 auto attack damage, and he just crushed the entire enemy team.
I mean, yeah, if you get to 950 gold per minute, like 30 minutes in, that's great. But even 600 plus, I feel like, isn't enough. And I've seen Salomon in gold division, I think, twice now in this cycle. And it basically happened, yeah, where he got to 800 gold per minute, but didn't do anything. And I don't know. It was really dangerous, I felt like. I think it actually might have been Twisted Fusion, and not only did they play Solomon, I think they played a Suicide Solomon.
What?
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with Suicide.
Yeah, so that's.
I mean, your Forsaking is farming ability. I mean,
Yeah.
Wish for Wealth is such a strong ability, and if you put him in a Suicide lane, he's going to get very few creep kills, thus, negating that ability entirely.
And it feels like that's the only reason to pick this hero, is because he flash farms. Because his abilities do relatively nothing.
But you got to keep in mind, look at the push potential on this Legion team. They can just push non-stop towers with 4 of their heroes while Solomon continues farming, and they'll still succeed at it, I think, because of the Hellborn's inability to counter-push or anti-push.
Very possible. Drance, you had a point?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, one thing about Solomon is that, yeah, and it's a lot of farm. But, even if he gets the farm, sometimes it's just not gonna work because he doesn't have a team around it.
Yeah.
So basically, if you wanna big Solomon, you gotta have a team around it. You have to make sure he's gonna get farmed, he's gonna be protected, so he can be able to take off. And even then, sometimes if you have facing a team that has a lot of CC or just good team fight potential, it's just not gonna work that much.
Okay,
But,
I
yeah.
completely missed that. And
It's hard to lane him. Not only that, if you get mana up, yeah, it's really hard. There's a Bloodlust middle,
Yep,
you can see.
I totally missed that.
Yeah.
But that's, in my defense, it was a Bloodlust and an Ophelia past a tier 2 tower. Then the one in middle lane I also missed, but that was a little less excusable, so sorry about that, missing 2 kills in a row. Usually a little bit better with my camera work, but apparently not today. Anyway, so it will be the Solomon in the bottom lane against a Rally, and I feel like Solomon should have just a fine time down here. With Rhapsody helping out, he's going to have pretty much total free farm, because Rally's not going to be able to do anything in this lane at all. Middle lane, it will be Magnus versus Bubbles. I'm favoring Bubbles a little bit, I feel like, in this lane. What do you think? Let's go to Drents first, then.
Well, it's kind of even in the sense that neither should die in that lane, but I think Mag has the advantage because that passive volcanic touch is just so good. We kill creeps. Bubbles is gonna take a lot of harass just with that. So it's really even lane, but I think Mag should have the better time.
Very possible. Then top lane, we've got Zephyr and Andromeda versus a Pharaoh, and I don't think I'd be super surprised to see Pharaoh win this lane. I mean, I don't feel like Andro can harass him out. I don't feel like Zephyr can do that very well either, and with a Mummy Walls and a Hellfire, he could get a counter kill. So, you feeling like the Hellborn have a significant advantage here, Anthos, or is Pharaoh going to do very well? Actually, in middle lane, sorry, as Bubbles is getting caught once again, and he will die. So, finally, 1 for 3 so far here, but I did get it. Anyway, top lane.
Yeah, Pharaoh's getting gone on. He's gonna have a rough time against a Zephyr and Andro. That's a pretty strong lane, and lots of damage coming out from both of them. I mean, the thing about Pharaoh is your escape mechanism is the Mummy Wall, but with Zephyr's push, it's kind of hard to get that off if they position themselves properly. So Pharaoh's gonna have a rough time. I don't see a lot of creep kills in his future.
And he's currently sitting at 146 gold per minute, so definitely backing that up here. Zephyr only at 275, now 280 though, so not doing super well himself. Gets one with a rocket there, does Pharaoh. And in the bottom lane, it looks like Solomon's not doing badly at all, 290 GPM. Currently sitting at 15 and 4 CS, but Magnus is the one that's really leading the way here, 16 and 2. And nearly 400 gold per minute, so definitely Drents having the right call there. As actually bottom lane Rally going to compel forward, and is he going to live? Dance floor goes down. Staccato's going to be back up in a second, but there goes the health pot tick. Magnus is rotating over, actually, so if he takes the right angle, Skeleton King, there's the net. Magnus took the wrong angle initially. Is he going to be able to get in range still? Compel, and yeah, so he's fine. Well done with mana pot there, giving him literally just enough mana to get out of there, as I think he was probably dead if his Compel didn't come up just about then between the Lava Surge and Staccatos. So anyway, 3-1 hero kill advantage here for the Legion side, but relatively even in terms of overall resources. And you guys feel like this favors one side or the other in particular?
Top lane.
Oh, yeah, actually, as Pharaoh's getting John on, and there we go. He will die, so time to die. Apparently it is time to die. And I get chokes.
Would you guys like to see a mock on Zephyr this game?
No, no way. He's not gonna live all the failure creeps and the mag ultis. He needs to think up.
I
But
think
also,
if he
they
can-
don't really have late game, so I'm really concerned
Yeah.
about that for Elburn.
I think if Zephyr can get it within like the next 15 minutes, sure. But if not, no way. It's definitely a risky pickup, but it would give them some anti-push, and if he is able to turn the Mach into even more farm and then go tanky, he's going to be able to sit in the middle of these fights and just deal a whole bunch of damage and maybe actually stop this push coming out from Legion side. So I think it's a risky item, but may have a place in this game.
Top lane again?
Yeah, once again, as Pharaoh's going to get caught here, and Zephyr is going to die, so he does get the counter kill, and I would say that's definitely worth it. Not only getting an extra 100 gold off of that, but also stopping Zephyr's farm now for about 25 seconds and forcing him to port back to lane.
Yeah, Zephyr's not gonna have a good time. Just die, and sure, he's at 380 GPM, but the later this goes, I don't think he's gonna be able to hold off with the Legion team composition.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be a hard time for Zephyr.
And as Breaky likes to say, Zephyr a deceptively tanky hero. So a lot of people feel like, oh, this hero can take a whole bunch of damage, but in general, I wouldn't be surprised to see him dying relatively fast to this Legion side. But continuing to just grab some CS up here, 375 GPM, so not doing bad at all, and leading the GPM charts here just barely over Solomon, who I'm kind of surprised that he's only at 370 gold per minute. I feel like that should be higher. Is that
Yeah,
just me?
his lane control is pretty poor in this bot lane.
And he's generally doing okay on CS with 37. Obviously not having any kill or assist involvement, not helping him out too much, but now going to get closer to the 400 gold per minute mark. And
Zephyr and Parasite diving top.
yeah, man, I should just keep my focus on this top lane apparently. As he's going to TP top, which was a really, really terrible decision because he's got no mana.
Yep.
That was awful.
That was really questionable.
To say the least.
Like,
Boy.
he had Rhapsody coming in, but Magnus wasn't close.
They're gonna get it? They're gonna get it?
Yeah, they're gonna get it. Andrew's gonna sacrifice her life for it, but that's just fine. Pharaoh here has a Wrath and will miss, so
Ooh.
yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Possibly could have picked up a counter kill there, or he could have died himself to all the tornadoes that Zephyr has. Because
With 3 heroes there, probably not. But yeah, Pharaoh ultimates are pretty damn easy to hit. I'm really surprised when people miss them.
yeah,
Especially if you have vision of the enemy target.
I mean you generally don't have to predict movement. Like with some skill shots, it's so damn fast you can pretty much just click the hero.
It's just about instant.
So, too bad there, possibly missing out on a creep kill, but Magnus will rotate back to middle lane. Salomon gonna head back bot once again, 340 gold per minute on him, and are we approaching, meanwhile middle lane, yeah, Kelfield gets dropped onto Magnus, but they're gonna try to turn this. Shell Surf goes through, and it looks like Bubbles will be okay. Andrew looking for a stun on a Mag, will grab the Comet, but a nice disjoint there with the Steam Bath, as Magnus is gonna be just fine. And anyway, I was saying, bottom lane, Salomon out at 350 GPM, but are we in dangerous territory for him? Is this, like... Because he really needs to pick it up, I feel like.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
no.
350 is okay. No, go ahead, Drents.
No, I was gonna say no. He's not where he wants to be because he's got a passive. It's giving him gold. And
Yeah.
it's a creep. So, 47 CS in almost 9 minutes. It's really low. Honestly, safe laner. So yeah, he's
Looks
not where he
like-
wants to be, but he'll be fine.
Mid lane, meanwhile, once again, as they're getting jumped, Magnus is not going to get turned on as they do manage to get the kill onto Bubbles. Zephyr looking for something more, but he's out of mana, so that's not going to happen at all. And his ultimate will wear off, and now he's in trouble as Magnus comes back in with the Lava Surge and the haste. Meanwhile, bottom lane Solomon does die as I'm focused on this going on in middle lane. Not sure what happened there. And Zephyr's going to kill Rhapsody, but fall for it. So both sides, I feel like, having some issues right there as Zephyr trades his life for Rhapsody, and Solomon dies to the gank on bottom. Which side came out worse?
Well, I think Legion got a little bit better off of the trade because they killed the Zephyr. That's the hero they should be killing right now. Nothing else is going to be really a threat for them. So I think Legion came up ahead with that trade. Sweet.
Alright, 450 gold per now on Zephyr definitely, so shutting him down pretty important. And as we approach 10 minutes in here, Hellborn, do you have an advantage? Do you think it's enough of an advantage, Enthos, or are we going to be seeing the push soon, and is that going to turn around?
Yeah, the gold charts are definitely in the Hellborn favor, and Zephyr's farming quite well as opposed to Salomon. But I mean, you saw on both sides right there, Zephyr's ulti was pretty much a fluke. He did not manage to drop Magnus. He sacrificed his life for a Rhapsody. I just think that misplay along with Salomon's misplay at the bot lane by getting killed, I just think that these carries need to be a bit more safe. They both need the farm right now, Salomon especially. But Zephyr's looking to take off here, man. I mean, he's at level 10, Salomon just hit level 8, and Salomon's 0-2 at only 340 GPM with a ridiculously good farming hero. So Salomon needs to pick it up big time, and Zephyr's just going to continue farming his ass off.
And it looks like he did elect to go the tanky route over the helm, or the Mach, excuse me, as he picked up the helm and the Mystic Vestments.
Well, the thing about the Mach is you should always pick it up after a helm with a Black Legion. I don't agree with going a straight Mach on any hero unless you're maybe Wild Soul getting it on Boo Boo. I mean, you're way too exposed at that point, and your Mach cannot be used to its full potential if you're dying very quickly.
Right.
So, helm first choice. I agree with that. And he does those vestments too, so I guess we'll see what he gets next.
I think Mach I've seen before is the first time on Salomon as well, just because if he does get off to a good start, he's a hero that can get a Mach at like 12 minutes. So, in that type of situation, as a strength hero, I feel like he is tanky enough to just, you know, kind of sack that and start to put out a ridiculous amount of damage early on. But I can definitely see where you're coming from with the lack of tankiness, and Zephyr currently at 1200 health or so. Much better off than where he would be if he just had a straight Mach, which he didn't even have yet. Meanwhile, middle lane, yep, once again, Kelfield can be dropped just on the Magnus though, and a nice ultimate from Rhapsody will save all sorts of damage. This is going to be cleanup city for the Legion side, as there goes the Eruption as well, and everything is dead. Hellborn side losing all their heroes except for Rally and Parasite, so just 3 actually. Shouldn't even be saying all, wow. But it felt like everything was dying. And Rhapsody, man, saving the day.
Yeah, Rally needed to be there. If he could have done Rhapsody during that ultimate and gotten a seismic slam, that would have been a big turn of events.
Yeah, everybody's all grouped up right there, but that's going to be a mid-tower push. And finally, actually, Legion get a tier 1 tower kill. It's 12.5 minutes in. That's their first tower kill. Am I the only one that's surprised by that?
No, yeah, I was going to mention that even before that team fight. They have Ophelia, but they haven't really pushed at all.
Yeah.
Like, a good team would take advantage of that, but Hellborn isn't really in the position for that, because their heroes are just not good together against Legion right now. Yeah. Well, they got their first tower, so they're just gonna keep doing that now, and it's just gonna snowball from there, I feel like.
And it looks like she's gonna have a triple Catman army here. So, a bunch of tanky creeps that do a fair bit of damage. And definitely effective at pushing down towers. Not so much at ganking, but will be difficult to deal with when they finally do decide to push tier 1s, because yeah, even now, like, Ophelia's just in the woods. Yep. And why isn't tier bot getting pressured? Like, that seems like it's impossible.
They have a catapult, so ballista, so they know that they can push with it.
Yeah.
So that's why he's rotating right now.
And then finally he comes over. Rally's in trouble. Yeah, Compel's there. And he's going to be able to get the Catman stomp. No, actually misses one. And Rally going to escape into the woods here. It looks like Kelfield into 2 in the meantime. Finally Solomon gets the kill with the Cosmic Sleeve over here. But Rhapsody and Ophelia, it looks like, are going to pay for that. As no, Ophelia comes in nice Wrath of the Fair off to the side. And an excellent Melting Walls. There goes the Lava Surge onto 2, forcing Parasite out of the minions. And he will eventually die. Hellfire helping out quite a lot there with the stun. So they do lose the Rhapsody, but the turn potential from the Hellborn side is in return turned on. And there goes Magnus once again. Compel onto Andromeda, which will save her. Now Zephyr's going to come in here, drop the ultimate on top of Pharaoh, but really not taking that much damage. Gets ported back by Ophelia. Is he going to live? No! Not enough time. And now Salomon's going to be in some trouble. Drops the ultimate, trying to get a counter kill here. But a nice eruption there from Magnus, and that's going to be the turn. Magnus obviously did not use it in the beginning, and
wow,
that was a big play. So
definitely.
Tier 1 will get
The Legion had
armored bottom, but it's still going to die.
I dare to say that's game right there. That ulti. That's gonna be pretty demoralizing.
Yeah.
Albert.
I don't think that's quite game yet, but that's going to give them the biggest lead of this game, I think, and some more map control, definitely. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Legion side continue to try to push as well, because they use the glyph right there, and I don't like that, personally. I see teams do that every so often as well. Like, if you lost a tower already, do you feel like it's a good idea to use the glyph just to slow them down for a few more seconds?
No. The reason you have glyph is because you wanna make sure you can set up a team fight. As you know, teams pushing and you can just glyph, delay it a little bit, just set up.
Right.
But yeah, it's really not productive to use the glyph just to delay a few more seconds of that fact. I'm not gonna defend it. It's a mistake a lot of teams make.
Just feel like, oh, might as well use it because it's off cooldown, but then, of course, later on, it's on cooldown, and you don't have it. Meanwhile, middle lane, Magma's going to jump bubbles, but not too much damage there. And actually, Parasite with Wild Hunter might be looking to turn this around. There's the face hug. Now, Galefield goes down as well. Steam Bath is there. Dust of Revelation from Andromeda, and Onslaught Streak from Salem actually going to get stopped. Puzzle Box minions also available as Parasite did go to Puzzle Box. And that's something else. We see Parasite a lot more now, as that hero has gained a lot of power with his buffs, but almost never see the Codex build. Do you guys feel like there is a place for that anymore, or is Puzzle Box just too powerful?
Adam.
Yeah, go ahead.
Puzzle Box is just really strong. Its utility, its chase potential, its damage output. In the end, its long-term damage output is a lot more effective than Codex. Codex is more of like a really quick burst if you're trying to take down heroes like, I don't know, early game Mage Bane, someone that's really squishy, but there's just not a lot of room for it, I think, in competitive play. If you're in a TMM game, sure, Codex is fun.
Rhapsody here will fall. Sorry.
No,
yeah,
go ahead.
I think this is happening. Oh my god, actually swap out from Andromeda. Will go through there. Zephyr ultimate going to come down onto Pharaoh. He might be in some trouble. In the background, Portal Key must have been cancelled from Magnus because his eruption does nothing, and that's going to help the Hellborn side out a lot. Big cooldown for Naught, and he will die once again. Skeleton King from Ophelia gets picked off as nice. Retribution streak, or Nemesis streak, excuse me, ended present 25. And now they're going to push down the middle lane, so stopping that Portal Key from Magnus. Big play, biggest play? I don't even know what did it.
I think he screwed up.
Oh.
Should have gotten the Portal Key. It didn't, so it's a misplay.
So, Tier 2 mid falls, but in the meantime, Salomon manages to push the Tier 2 bot, and he's up to 560 gold per minute, so there we go. It's a little bit better.
Also, Salomon got sword, by the way, so he's going the muck route.
Yeah. As we said before, is not a surprise. It's a pretty common item to see on that Salomon. Usually, as he does get it very quickly, and yep, there it is. So, Mock of Brilliance going to be on Salomon. Yet another pushing tool for them, as that's going to help them with their wave clear quite a lot.
I think I would have liked to see a Restless Stone instead of a Helm and Mock.
Yeah. That definitely would be a lot more powerful.
Restless Stone first item? It's not going to have the mana pool for that.
Yeah, if you hit, I forget which level it is, but it is doable. You just need to get, I think, not power supply. If you just get a little bit of stats in one item or another, you will have enough, barely enough. You won't have enough for slows, but the double ulti makes up for it. And in team fights especially, that's pretty strong.
Yeah. Especially, and we haven't really talked about too much of the synergy besides like Ophelia and Rhapsody, but Salomon and Pharaoh. Pharaoh dropping the Mummy Wells and Salomon being able to jump inside them even if he's not there. Feels like there's some power there.
Same with Magnus.
As well, yeah, that's also a good point. And Zephyr going to drop the ultimate here. Looks like he's going to try to get a kill, but Salomon has the stun with his ulti. And there's the Mock, and the eruption coming through. That's going to be a ton of damage. 2 dead already. Rhapsody ultimate saving any more return from the Hellborn side. 2 kills right off the bat onto both Andro and Zephyr. Off to the side over here, actually, Rally will also get caught. And there goes the Lava Surge off the portal key. Parasite gonna be in some trouble, drops the leech pretty damn fast as a result, and it looks like both Parasite and Bubbles will be okay. So ends up being a 3-0 there in favor of the Legion side, and they're gonna try to push this top tower once again. These eruptions from Magnus have been generally pretty huge, barring that one in the middle lane. But yeah,
it's not only the eruption, but getting the triple stun or the double stun. It's on point with those. So good place by Mag.
7-2 and 7 here on Salem at 430 gold per minute. So now the second highest farmer in the game as they keep killing the Zephyr, 420 GPM. Not bad at all considering she is 3 and 3, 5 and 4. But actually Andro gonna get jumped once again as Pharaoh catches her in the mummy walls. Easy lava surge forward, and that's a nice kill. So poor Andro here suffering pretty hard. Still looking to finish up Steam Boots.
You see through this game just how important drafting is, and I mean this Legion team just complements each other so well. I mean, you have the Rhapsody, you have the Ophelia, the Magnus. Their presence together, it's like puzzle pieces making an entire puzzle. They have that heal presence, that jump presence, that Pharaoh to keep them in place. It's too much, and this Hellborn team is just like kind of jumbled together. I don't agree with the picks that they have. They don't complement each other in any way, shape, or form whatsoever.
And not only that, but I mean, Legion side definitely know how to execute this. They're generally on point when it comes to following each other up. They're clearly communicating very well, and they have their timings down. And I mean, we've seen at the highest level teams where it feels like they do get out drafted and then they get outplayed, and all of a sudden the game gets away from them because we won the drafting phase, but after the subsequent 40 minutes after that drafting phase, we lost. So definitely a really strong performance here from Twisted Fusion, and something to look forward to as this team looks like it might be something here.
And another point I want to make, it was a little bit earlier after a team fight at the bot lane, but a big difference that you see between the really good teams and the teams that are pretty good but don't have what it takes for gold or diamond is when you notice this Legion team, when there's a team fight going on and one of their heroes getting jumped, they all port almost instantly. They move as a unit, they're all there at all times if any of their heroes are getting jumped. On the other hand, you have this Hellborn team, and when their heroes are getting jumped, they have like 2 to 3 ports, but maybe 1 to 2 heroes will stay out and just continue farming, which you can't have. I mean, in a 5 vs 4 fight, the team with more players is almost always going to win. And I can't stress the importance of having all your players there for team fights, because even missing just one, you're giving a huge advantage to their team, and those team fights are so important as far as golden experience are concerned.
No doubt. And I think Drents, you're about to bring something up as well.
Yeah, that's why communication is so important. When you have a team like playing together, you have to make sure there's a leader calling out plays, that they know that someone goes, you just have to back him up. Just not say go and nobody's like listening. So that's why it's really important to know what you're gonna do. It's really important to trust your players, because that's pretty much what you're gonna do. If you want to be successful, you have to work together, get better together, and just pretty much, complement each other and just have fun with it. That's why you'll see like teams like Sing, Tree, they know what they have to do. They're always setting up TPs. They know how to team fight. They know how to capitalize on mistakes. That's why they're on the top pretty much. That's why for now at least they're still gonna stay there. They're just the best team when it comes to team fight.
And once again, Legion side team fighting and pushing down middle lane. Looks like they're gonna try to break base here, but that might be a bit premature, I feel like. One thing that we haven't seen too much of this game that we saw a lot of last game is Kongor. Hasn't been addressed once in almost 24 minutes now, despite the fact that there is a Pharaoh on this Legion side, and a Rhapsody for that matter, and an Ophelia. So it feels like they have a strong Kongor team. Of course, they don't have the advantage of being on the Hellborn side, but with the amount of map control they currently have, I feel like Kongor is the next step.
Yeah, they're just getting vision up. See those wards, just setting up for it. Oh, but actually, they want to jump middle.
Puzzle block there, countering them like crazy. Oh, Pharaoh gonna miss with the rat. That's a bit of a problem. Andro in some trouble though. Drops the Comet Stun onto Solomon, who's now out of mana.
Oh my God.
So he's in trouble, but a nice ultimate from and Rhapsody. There goes the eruption once again. Rallying to fall right off the bat, but there goes Slot Please and Rhapsody. So 2 for 1 now in favor of the Hellborn side. Magnus has a haste rune, so he's going to be able to run away just fine. Bubbles is sort of fighting and sort of running. Ophelia looks like it's going to be the next. She's going to be the next target. Excuse me. Mummy go down there on the Bubbles, but he should be able to get out of there. Lava Surge hits 2. They manage to finish off Bubbles. Parasite getting inside the Catman, and he's going to get forced out of that relatively quickly though, because this Ophelia is pretty damn tanky. Hellfire is going down, and looks like Parasite is going to drop. Ophelia finally in some real danger. Zephyr looks like she will. My God, why is it Ophelia living for so long? Like, that was ridiculous. I know.
It's got armor, guys. Come on. It's got 15 armor.
Yeah, Bulwark and Abyssal Skull, so armor auras everywhere.
And
Not to
armor
mention
boots.
Plated Greaves and Mystic Vestments. Yeah. So, this Ophelia with 1138 health, but pretty damn hard to kill. As she stayed alive in that fight for, it felt like, way too long. But in the end, I think Hellborn didn't do too badly there.
I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to provide Entho's insight number 7. Ophelia is a ridiculously strong hero. I mean, looking at her items, she has all the support items that her team needs, while Rhapsody can, you know, just ward as much as possible. Looks like she's working on that push book. But that hero, with her ability to port people back, her ability to just use those team fight items effectively, such a strong hero through and through. And I really hate versing that hero probably more than anything else.
Especially against a really good Ophelia that knows how to use minions effectively. But yeah, middle lane, we saw the jump there from Magnus and Rhapsody. Magnus with the portal key, as well as a Sheepstick now, so 426 gold per minute, using it very effectively. Going to provide some more lockdown with the Sheep. And not quite able to get a kill under Rally thanks to his Compel, but scaring him the hell off. But Legion side, 550 gold per minute still on Solomon, so he's not really taken off.
No, it's just the team support's there, so that's why they're winning fights. Mag's doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
Look at the hero damage, it's up there. Just doing a lot of work for his team.
15% for Magnus there, but 16% for Zephyr, so he's no doubt pretty much the source of most damage for this Hellborn side. I'm thinking right now, have we seen a Seismic Slam in this game?
No, actually, I was gonna ask that. We have not seen.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
2 attempts, one of the top lane, he did it while Rhapsody was ulting, and then this last one in the mid lane, he just missed it entirely. And you can't be missing those. I know that they're hard to hit, but that's Rowley's not full potential, but his other 2 abilities just aren't that good. I mean, Compel's great for escaping, initiating, all that stuff, but his true great ability is that Seismic Slam, which is just huge damage.
And it is a major source of his damage. So bottom tier 3 tower here going to be pressured pretty heavily, actually. They get it under half damage, or half health. And so those Plated Greaves doing a lot of work, the Rhapsody Dance were doing a lot of work, and of course the Ophelia minions helping out a lot as well.
Like that on Ophelia. That's a Wolf Commander.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's something we don't see too often either, because obviously it does provide you that damage aura. And usually we see Ophelia, gank-oriented, creeps, Skeleton Kings, Minotaurs, occasionally even a Catman champion. But obviously the Wolf Commander will do quite a lot for you if you can pick it up. What is it? Plus 30% base? Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I mean,
huge damage.
Like, probably the Abyssal Skull is mostly justified just by the damage aura. Actually, Solomon going to jump here onto Parasite. Also, there the Wrath of the Pharaoh, and nope, swap out from Andromeda. She's going to sacrifice her life for it, so she will be the first one dead. In the meantime, actually, off the side here, Zephyr going to drop the ultimate, but there goes the Magnus Eruption, and he's just going to eat that. Oh God, Zephyr's still alive somehow, still alive, and he's going to get out of there. Rally still dies in the background, but Solomon going to drop here as well. Parasite buys back, but gets caught by the Mummy Walls, and he's going to be able to push himself out of there, so ends up being a 2-for-1 there. Not a terrible trade for the Hellborn, really, as they kill the Solomon and lose only the Angel and Rally. Zephyr there, living, pretty big deal, and Lava Surge away from Magnus. Looks like Staccatos will help that. Rhapsody is going to get ported back, and she should be okay. They're instead going to focus the Ophelia and the Magnus, as once again, Ophelia very, very tanky. Steam Bath there will allow Magnus to PK away. Solomon coming back in here as he did use a buyback, and it looks like Zephyr is going to be the focus, and Lava Surge there will help kill her. So all of a sudden, the buyback from Solomon turns that around pretty heavily. And Wrath of Pharaoh actually will connect onto Pharaoh, so that was like, was that blind? He might have had a rocket. And then also actually the follow from Magnus. These guys' jump potential is ridiculous. I keep thinking the fight's over and it's not. And now it is because of health. But tier 3 gonna go down here.
Destroyed a Hellborn tower.
And we might see Rex. No, Cliff Fortification goes off and a buyback from Zephyr as well as Bubbles.
They realized they don't have to field their minions. They're gonna play it safe.
Yeah. So multiple buybacks used there, definitely by Solomon, and I think by Bubbles, Rally, and Zephyr as well.
Well, yeah, Zephyr bought back, like right there.
I knew. I mean,
yeah.
Zephyr was confirmed. I don't know if Bubbles bought back earlier. I think Rally definitely did, but I don't know if Bubbles did. Did he die in that fight? I don't think so. Yeah, I think he died in the beginning and then bought back. So 3 buybacks, pretty big.
Anyways, going back to the draft, you can see Hellborns are doing that mistake again. They're picking a hero, but it's really not paying off. The first game was Torture, where it really didn't pay off. And this game, it's Rally. That's him really being able to use his ulti effectively. Just, try to get games here and there.
Middle lane, meanwhile, Bubble's gonna get jumped and the swap
they
away,
just like picking
but the
heroes,
Wrath.
not utilizing them.
So it looks like Bubbles will still die here to the Hellfire. Unless you get the Shell Surf? No. Mummy Wall is there, just too powerful. Drops the Kelp Field. I feel like that was a bad choice, actually. Zephyr going to jump in here as well in a 1v4. There's the Eruption in the background, though, stopped by Parasite with a Portal Key. It's not going to save Zephyr, and now Parasite's going to be in a lot of trouble. Gets the slow. Mummy Walls are there as well. Gets inside the Skeleton King, and nope, Mummy Walls obviously not that big a deal. Just deny them, run away. And the Skeleton King going to die here. Lava Surge is back up. That's going to be a kill, and Scott will finish him off. So Rhapsody get a double tap there, but I don't know why you dropped the Kelp Field right there. He's going to be back up in 20 seconds, but the Kelp Field not going to be up for 65. So if they try to teamfight this, which they can't really, that's a pretty big cooldown to have basically wasted.
That was a mistake after mistake. The fact that Zephyr followed in was just a terrible, terrible decision. What was he thinking?
Well, he's been really successful so far in the 1v4s, so
Clearly.
I don't know.
Clearly, the KDR shows that.
One I've seen that Quincy insight number 5. Don't try to take 1v4 fights.
A Hellborn barracks has been
Yeah, I like that
destroyed.
insight. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Check out Solomon's items. He has a Frozen Light plus another Ice Brand.
I'm confused.
Do those two stack?
No.
They do not.
What is he thinking then?
It's just, he felt like it. There's really no reason for him to have these items.
Like, that's literally, there's nothing.
Oh, he misclicked. Things happens. In the words of Blue.
I think they really did that. But Meta is dead.
Yep. Gonna be a pretty easy kill as the entire Legion side is here. Kelpfield dropped once again. And it's gonna do nothing. Actually, Rhapsody Ultimate there wasted a lot too, so not really sure why Rhapsody felt like it was necessary to ult right there. With Zephyr dead, they pretty much have no damage. And it looks like this will be a tier 3 push in middle once again, so bot rack's already cleaned out. Tier 3 looks like it's going to be going down here as well as the racks, and Parasite going to jump in there, take the Minotaur, stun, run away, or try to, but nope. Sheepstick actually, Sheepstick the Minotaur, and Parasite just barely going to live thanks to the swap from Mach, probably would have killed him, but in the meantime, Rally will fall, and yeah.
This is pretty much going downhill for.
Yeah, I don't think that there's too much at this point that's they can do. And we see the CC vote getting thrown up there by the Hellborn side. Doesn't pass, but
fake CC.
Yeah, I don't think it matters at this point if it's a fake CC, because even if they don't CC, they're gonna lose in about 5 minutes anyway. Just because, I mean, they can take Kong freely now, pretty much, and then token means top racks are free. And then Mega Creeps are, in my experience, difficult to come back from. Is that number 6?
Difficult is putting it lightly. Yeah, I guess that's a good number 6. We can add that to the list.
So far we've seen no Dren's Insight.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
just
sad.
a game that's pretty much, it was one-sided, so
Yeah.
TF just proving they're a better team, so
I
They
think
did
that
many mistakes that game.
I don't think they made too many mistakes. I feel like Crave had some opportunities in the early game. I mean, Zephyr's farm was up there. It just didn't go anywhere. And I don't know. I feel like that maybe it could have been a little bit better than it was, but no doubt Twisted Fusion looking like better.
So like I said, just a draft.
Yeah.
They pick heroes that they really utilize, so pretty much
Except for
fate for it.
Solomon. Solomon's a bad hero. Stop picking it. Anyway, final thoughts there, Anthos, as we wrap up today.
Twisted Fusion dominated them both games. Well played on their part. Hopefully, the other team will look at their drafts and make some adjustments for the next cycle. But that's about it, man.
Yeah, I think not just the drafts too, but this is a team on Crave that maybe needs a little more practice. I feel like they weren't as coordinated as they need to be. Their decision making at times was a little bit poor, and sometimes a lot bit poor. But, anyway, Twisted Fusion will wrap up this series 2-0, and move on to the round of 8 in the gold division, while Crave gets knocked down to the losers bracket in the first round. So not a great place for them, but we'll see them later on and figure out what they can do with that. So thanks, guys.